Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Juzo. Today we are diving into a build that's designed to do it all. Whether you're a hardcore gamer, a creative professional, a streamer, or just someone who wants a powerful future-proof PC, this rig has got you covered. We've got a powerhouse of parts list right here, starting with the brains of the operation, the brand new Ryzen 7 9700X. This is the next-gen performance we've been waiting for, offering incredible multi-core power for everything from gaming to video editing and 3D rendering. Next up, the foundation for all this power, the MSI Mag X670E Wi-Fi motherboard. This board is built to handle the new Ryzen processors with robust power delivery, plenty of connectivity, and that built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for a clean, cable-free setup. Now for the visual muscle, we're using the Zotac Solid RTX 4070 Ti Super. This card is an absolute beast, delivering incredible frame rates in the latest titles at 1440p and even 4K. With its solid cooling and powerful performance, it's the perfect GPU for high refresh rate gaming and creative work. And we're housing all this hardware in one of the sleekest cases on the market, the NZXT H6 Flow, or it's also known as NZXT H6 Flow. This case is a builder's dream with its unique dual chamber design for better airflow and the panoramic glass panel that really shows off the components inside. For memory, we're going with a massive 64 gigabytes of crucial DDR 6000 MHz RAM. This is more than enough for intensive multitasking, massive video files, and future-proofing your system for years to come. For storage, we are using two 4TB NVMe SSDs, both Gen 4. One is a Lexar one and the other one is Acer. I bought these previously and also using a crucial 1TB NVMe drive as well. Using the NVMe drives for lightning fast speeds and tons of space for your games, applications, and the operating system. And for all the other data, like media files and backups, we've got a huge 6TB 3.5-inch hard drive. And to keep that Ryzen 7 cool under pressure, we've got the Thermalright Frozen Prism 360 Black RGB cooler. This AIO not only offers excellent thermal performance, but also adds a stunning touch of RGB flair to the build. Powering it all is the reliable Corsair RM850X. This is a tried and true power supply, delivering clean, stable power with a fully modular design that makes cable management a breeze. Alright, enough talk. Let's get this thing built. The first thing to do is install the CPU into the motherboard, and then it will be ready to install the CPU on it. Do that. Oh yes. Right there. Align the arrow, drop it in. Wow, you really gotta push it in. Next up is the RAM. Use this one. You have to undo the bottom ones as well. Apply pressure in. Okay, RAM installed. Remove the film from the heat pad or other heat pads. I think we should recycle. So you install them and then you push them down with the heat shield. Wow. it's time to move on to installing the CPU brackets, which are required to attach the water block from the AIO, which will be cooling the CPU. In the package, you have to locate the bracket which is compatible for your CPU. So I had to select the AM4 AM5 package, and they also supply some thermal compound to go onto the CPU right before installing the water block. Start with removing the factory brackets, screwdriver. So we can remove the brackets, the factory brackets, and these I think best go back into the motherboard box along with the screws that came with it. Standoffs, they just go on the back plate. And then there's only one way they could go on, like this, because they obviously don't fit that way, so it's pretty straightforward. Then we'll just screw these long screws that were supplied with those. That will be the next step. If it needs to move, then let it go, because if you resist, then it could spin the motherboard around and damage it. It's a very delicate electric component, so you must be very careful with it and gentle with it. Exercise caution. All right, so we could use this Ziploc bag that came with the AIO to put everything inside the factory bracket with the screws, and then put those into the motherboard box. Hopefully the graphics card fits. Will still fit with this chunky heatsink. It's quite a big heatsink, but the case is quite, I mean the motherboard is quite big as well. Oh, let's see. Let's use a smaller screw. Let's take the panels of the case. Put them on the side. First thing is we must remove these fans, because we won't be using NZXT fans. We will use these Antec Connect reverse ones. Let's start removing the case fans. The RGB cables coming from the stock fans, they connect to an RGB hub, so it will be easy just to disconnect them and remove the hub first. Then let's start removing the screws holding the fans in place. Pretty big screws. Okay. Let's see these new ones. Yes, so they clip into each other. One clips into there, Yes, there it is. There's a male and a female connector. That's how they clip into each other. Must be this one. Yes. And then on the bottom, this one. If this is going to be intake, then it will go like this, and the cables will go from the top. Let's make sure we match the connector to the socket. On the very top of the fans, there is a little hole left for it. And then we need to, apparently we only need to use like 4 screws. So after trying really hard, I managed to get them in. But I couldn't put these covers on the top and the bottom. And where the power is connected, and I think the RGB as well, that unified connector is right up against the top. So it's not ideal, but yeah, it's a tight squeeze. It took a minute to get it in. We'll secure them with nuts and bolts. How about that? And let's screw on this side. Yes. That's gonna hold. These can plug in with fans. This time let's quickly install the motherboard. It's got IO Shield pre-installed, so it should be straightforward. Motherboard installed. So far, we have installed the exhaust fan in the back. This is to exhaust air, so we had to mount it with the rear of the fan towards the back, facing back, and then the nice side of the fan facing forward. So we did not need a reverse blade fan for there. However, the fans in the bottom, they are obviously intake, blowing air up onto the GPU, and therefore they needed to be intakes. But I was not able to find 140mm fans with reverse blades. reverse bladed 140mm fan, which were RGB as well, because there were only one or two, and those were either incompatible with the RGB in the case. For example, like the M30, the new Fantex fans, M25 and the D30, I think they are called. The problem is they need the proprietary fan hub. They've got proprietary connectors, so you can't just plug them onto a 3-pin ARGB header on the motherboard. Therefore, I went with these Fantex. The only problem with them is they are not reverse blades, so we see the back of the fans, as we need to use them as intake fans. Also, on the second fan going from the rear of the case, on that I had to install a rail which will be used as the GPU support, GPU Anti-Sag support stand, and it comes onto the rail. We'll be able to attach this little stand, and then we can adjust the height of this bit that holds the GPU up. It's got some rubber on it as well. It's really good. And you need it if you've got fans on the bottom of the case. You can't just use normal anti-sag, stands, because you could break one of the fans. They could interfere with the fans. I have arranged some of the RGB cables. There are these front panel connectors which are going to be in the bottom of the case. For the USB 3.0 connector, pull it through this opening. Done. The USB-C cable, I have already plugged that in. We'll just pull some of the slack back, but I'll do some more cable management once I've got the power supply, power connectors plugged in. Need a bit more slack. Yeah, right there. But as long as you connect one, there is a blank pin on the top right side, so one on this side as well. So let's plug in and pull the slack back again into the back of the case, so out of sight. Now we can add the power supply. There are some cable comms and zip ties coming with the power supply. We'll need some SATA power connectors. We won't use most of the stock cables because we've got these fancy Corsair individually sleeved cables. As we are using the Corsair Type 4 RM850X power supply, we had to obtain compatible sleeved cables for it. Now let's install this into the case. Yes. Right here. Okay, power supply in. Right. Come out on this second hole in the front. I struggle to show you two views at the same time, but And then as I pulled it around, it's gonna plug straight in there. You must fully plug this one in, like every other power connector, but it's especially this one. Now let's make it nice as well and push the slack back into the back of the case and get it out of sight. One's in, this one. That's plugged in as well with cable management. AIO cooler. We could also say more cable mass. They'll go in this way, so the cables will be facing backwards. We'll screw in the AIO like this into the top of the case. Yes, it fits. Let's allow gravity to help us above the motherboard. That's it, and then just pull them down and out. But hey ho. This is not what we had in mind. Such a small case. Radiator mounted in. Okay, it fits on still. I decided to put the front panel back. Apparently, you should manually spread your thermal paste now. Although this is quite a square GPU. Okay, let's install it and we will see. Alright, now the AIO cooler is installed. Now we gotta sort the cables and then do some cable management in the back and install the 3.5-inch drive. This has a lot of my data, so we mustn't lose this. I've no idea how this fits inside, but we'll find a way. I think it's this way. Okay, found hard drive screws in one of my PC screw set. Let's just screw these in. Nearly done with the build now. I have plugged in most of the cables. I have organized the RGB, the fan connectors, and I have also done cable management. And the next thing to do is install the hard drive. We installed into the bracket that holds 3.5 inch hard drives, and you can also put 2.5s, but only one 3.5-inch hard drive fits in it, which is a problem for me. I wish it could hold two. My previous case could. The G500 was able to hold two hard drives, 3.5-inch hard drives. Now, let's find the cables. So here they are. They should plug in, and in a way that once this clips in, let me turn the case in a way that it can be seen from the camera. There are some holes that these bits sort of clip into, and that's what we are gonna do. And then we can plug in our cables. Okay, almost there. And then just down, yes. And then there's a thumb screw that should screw into it to stabilize it. And now we've got the cables to plug in. Reach. Maybe I should have plugged in before. No, it will. Yes, that's plugged in, so that will power it. And then the SATA data cable that will transfer the data. Next, it's time to install the GPU. I better not drop this. That would be catastrophic, to say the least. This is it. It's a bit of a beast. Alright, and it goes straight in. 3 PCI covers wide, so it should be enough that I've taken 3 out. Yes, in it goes. Okay, that seems stable enough. And we'll use this GPU Anti-Sag stand, which I previously installed a rail for. This little part goes onto, and then once we screw down this stand, it will get stuck in the place. So space for it to move, and then we can put the stand somewhere about here. And there is another part which goes on. This one is also stabilized by a screw which locks into place, and that stops it moving up and down and rotating around the little stand, which is sort of like a long cylinder shape. So let's put it on. Let's check how straight the graphics card is. Does it need lifting a bit? Yeah, I think about there. See, that will stop it sagging. This has to be plugged in fully. Okay, that there was a click. So now I've improved cable management. I had a little bit of too much slack of the GPU power connector coming over, and that's about it. I'll show you a shot from every angle. Yes, this is the nice side. First, oh, it's gonna be NZXT logo the right way. That's your guide. Will be, I mean, the right side will be towards the wall, so it doesn't really matter at all. Again, let's give it a little wipe. Now this one. The connector, the power connector of the GPU is slightly pushing up against the glass. Tempered glass side panel, but it should be alright. Our indications. There is from the front. That's pretty good. Wow. From this side, just like meh. And then the rear. Plugged in, all sorted. Completed the 360. Looks beautiful, in my opinion. And then let me know in the comments how you think it looks. Let's get a fresh top. Give it another puff. Got a fish tank. Nice, sweet. Look at that. Core temperature 55 degrees. Current temperature of the Ryzen 7 9700X. The AIO came through. It's doing it. Although the fans have powered up, I can hear they have speeded up. But if you're wearing a headset, and by the way, this is really quiet. I'm just doing a CPU stress test on CPU Z. So if I was playing a game, you couldn't even hear these fans. I mean, I couldn't even hear these fans, even if they weren't, even if I wasn't wearing a headset, just using the speakers. Although I have pretty powerful speakers, not trying to brag, but they are pretty good. But either way, I think it's pretty quiet. The fans are bearable. They wouldn't bother me in a gaming session, although I don't do multiplayer. And let's see, the temps are still good. 56 degrees, doesn't go above 60. During a CPU multi-threaded stress test, this is really good. I'm really chuffed about it. The PC looks really good as well. All the fans have synced up pretty much. Perfect, lovely.